Under the same roof, we share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. Tonight, we're going to discuss so many important topics, but I must tell you, I'm out here in Arizona covering the Nancy Guthrie case. So bear with us on technology and style, but you know how we typically do it. Tonight, we're blessed to have with us Mama Flips, the one and only, and she's prepared to talk about so many important things that she's been in the courtroom in New York City covering the Alexander brothers. I'm pretty sure you want to know what's going on with that case, where she's going to break it all down. Let's welcome in Mama Flips.
Hi, how are you? How you
All
doing?
right. Okay, not bad.
That's what we want to talk about.
So it looks like one of us is frozen. I don't know if it's you or me, but anyway, we'll get through this. So, could you just give us an update on what's happening with the New York case with the Alexander brothers?
Yes, so what's happening? Give me 1 second. I'm coming right now. So what's happening with the Alexander brothers is very simple. Okay. Am I back?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I was just sharing the live. That's why we got stuck a little bit. So what happened with the Alexander brother is that they right now they are currently on a week break. The judge actually gave them a week break. The jury, and the jury's coming back on Tuesday, but on Monday they're gonna have like a conference, I guess, with the lawyers, and there's 11 lawyers, so I can't even imagine. And they're gonna have a conference, and I believe it's the sentencing conference, just like they did the Diddy case, to see, I guess, what the charges are and what the sentencing is going to be, which is, I think, is interesting that it's happening so early. And I think the defense was actually wanted to do a mistrial because they said the deliberation is too early. So that was kind of weird to me, but that's what they're probably trying to do right now. So they're planning on actually having a conference on Monday.
So wait, where are they at with the trial?
Right now, and this is where it gets confusing to me, because they have not rested. Which is, I don't know why they're having a conference on Monday, because the jury is back. They have not rested. I looked through everything and nothing. I haven't seen anything to show me that they rested in this case. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening, to be honest with you, because I haven't had a chance to actually go to court. I was planning on going to court today, and because Monday was the holiday, and then yesterday I couldn't go yesterday, right? But I was planning on going today, and that's when I checked, and I was like, okay, so they said they're coming back in a week. They didn't say anything about resting. They interviewed the last person that interviewed was the UN. There was a UN witness that says that she saw somebody being raped at a jacuzzi. That was the last hearing, right? And then there was somebody else that said that they were assaulted. But other than that, the case is supposed to just continue in January. So I'm not sure why they're having this conference on Monday, but that's what they're having.
Okay. All right. Very good. So what do you think in regards to the case? You think they'll be found guilty?
I don't know if they're going to be found guilty. I mean, it's almost like the Diddy trial, right? Like, all you could do is hope that they're found guilty. That's all you could do. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen in their case. Because with them, it's like I would be surprised if they're not found guilty. But then I was surprised about Diddy. So what can I say? I mean, like, I thought that we had a 5-5-0. They gave us 2 for 5. So I don't know. But this case is worse than, I hate to say it, and I was finding a hard time because someone was talking about whether this case is worse than the Diddy trial, right? And it's hard. I'm hard pressed to say that it is, believe it or not, and it kills me to even say that. And the reason why is because what I was saying to everyone before I came on your live is that at least Diddy actually had delusion, right? Gave these women delusions that they were important to them. You understand what I'm saying? He treated them like, I don't think he treated them like they were his girlfriend. I'm rolling my eyes even just saying this. I don't think that he treated them, all of them, like they were his girlfriends, but he made them feel that they were an important part of his life, and he needed them. He needed what they could give him to make him function. Like, he had so much pressure, right, in his life, and he needed these women to give themselves to him freely without objection, because he needed this, right? He coerced, bullshit, and lied to them to get what he wanted. But with the Alexander case, they ain't doing none of that. These mofos are using locations, right, trips, and other people to bring these people in, these women in. And some of them, one of the witnesses, as young as 16. 16, he raped her before her 17th birthday. And you know what Mark Anafilio and the 11 freaking lawyers, because Mark Anafilio, Tinny is, and I don't know Tinny's first name. You probably know it. Both of the two. Sorry, the two lawyers.
Tinny's first name is Tinny, last name is Garagos.
Okay, Tinny Garagos, right? She and Mark Anafilio are part of the team of 11 lawyers. 11 lawyers. 11 defense lawyers. So we start by describing what's going on, right? Because I went right into the emotion, because you know how I am. So we have a case of 3 brothers, right? As I was saying, and some of you who was watching me in the previous live, I'm going to be a little bit repetitive. I'm sorry, but that's how it has to be, because I have to explain the case. So we have 3 brothers. Their names are, let me make sure. I want to make sure I got the name. Alon, Oren, and Tyle. But every time I hear the court, I keep thinking they call it Tyle Paul, because it sounds so much like Paul to me. And people was like, "Oh, that's Paul." I know what's his freaking. I know his name is Tyle, but he sounds like Paul to me. Like when they talk about him, right? So it's 3 brothers who are multi-billionaire, very, 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 very wealthy boys, right? Apparently the family has 4 boys. It might be other kids, but 4 boys. But the older brother, it has nothing to do with it.
Wait, are they multi-billionaires or multi-millionaires?
I heard it was billionaires, or maybe their father is a billionaire and they're just millionaire. But I heard billions.
Oh, okay.
You could tell me if I'm wrong, but I heard it was their father that actually helped set them up, right? And then after that, they went on their own. So it's possible they're still millionaire, but I heard billionaire, and I met billionaire dad and mom in the court. So have you? They were sitting right next to me, all smiley, like, hey. Speaking their language. I don't know. I keep trying to figure out if they're French or German or something. I can't figure out the dialect.
They're speaking Hebrew. They're from Israel.
I didn't know. Oh my God, they sound so much, because I couldn't. I didn't even do the math to even try to figure out what the hell kind of language. Because I was trying, because I understand some French, so I was trying to determine what they were saying, and I'm like, I can't understand them, and I haven't had a chance to even look it up. What nationality? So these young people, these. So they're Jewish, because somebody wrote that they were Jewish. So are they Jewish?
Yeah, Israel, Jewish. Yeah.
So anyway, so apparently father's a billionaire.
More of the Zionism. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so their father's billionaire, and they are into real estate. So 2 of the brothers, the twins, are into real estate, and the The older brother, who I believe is the second brother, because there's four of them, has a security guard company, and it's the three youngest, I guess, of the four that actually are being charged with these horrendous crimes. So most people, I said when I was looking at them, looked at them, and I'm like, the two younger, the twins, are fairly attractive, right? And you would think they would get the girls fairly easy, but I think they have little member energy. Because for you to do that and have to rug women and young girls and little girls, that means you ain't got nothing. You're not packing nothing in order to get the girls, even with your money. But that's just me. The older of the three look weird to me. I don't know what's up with him, but he doesn't look quite right as far as, the way his features are, right? But pretty much they're fairly attractive brothers. It's being said that they also have some allegations with their real estate because they actually backstabbed a lot of people in business. So there was some conversation because there is a documentary on them, part 1 on YouTube. Go check it out because some of the people are actually was discussing some of their dealings, some of the real estate dealing, and there was some rumors. And one of the ladies said, we did kind of hear that there were some allegations that they were wilding with the women. We did hear one grape story, but we wasn't able to actually track it down. I don't think y'all did. I don't think y'all worked hard enough to even look into it, right? So there is a documentary that out there about them. But just to talk about them, so they were arrested and they are being charged with several counts, right? They're being charged. Mel, do I have access to share?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could get this. I don't want to I downloaded it, but I don't know if it's gonna. Give me 1 second. My problem is I don't want to really. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I could get this without. You know how it is. Once we start working, opening stuff, it gives you it bothers the computer for some reason. So anyway, I'm just going here. What are we doing? Why can't I see you? Guys, I'm almost there. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. You're frozen on my end, but maybe not. I don't know if they see you as being frozen.
It's probably because I'm frozen. Hold on a second. I'm coming right now. I'm just gonna see if I could bring it up because I know I downloaded it, but okay, maybe not do it this way. Okay, I'm gonna get off of this and just maybe if I could just show it online and you guys could see it. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so you're frozen. Okay.
Okay, I am frozen. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to bring up the charging documents, okay? So give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. I got the charging documents. So I'm coming back in. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Every time I leave, apparently I'm frozen. So let's look at the charging documents, guys. Can you guys see it? Can you see it? No.
So, you know what I figured we could do because I'm going to be limited on time.
Okay.
Let's just go through a few good topics and then we'll go back to the Alexander brothers and then I'll be out. And you can go through that as long as you want to.
Okay.
So let's talk about Donald Trump. What do you think? What do you think the latest big thing is with Epstein files and Trump?
There's nothing with the Epstein files and Trump, right? He's going to get away with it. I mean, where is it? What do we think? Like, there's nothing with Epstein file and Trump, right? What the GOP is doing right now, they're trying to hold the Democrats accountable, right? They have the Clintons testifying on February 22nd 6. I think they do have a couple of Republicans that might be testifying, but they're testifying behind closed doors to tell about what their relationship was like with Epstein. But there's nothing that has indicated to me that they're going to hold Donald Trump accountable in any way. This man is going to get away with everything. We came this close to get him. This close, like this close, this close. This close. We still have the Jean Carroll case, and he still has the case where he has to pay for the real estate corruption with Tish James, but everything else has gone. It go bye-bye. America gave him a wonderful gift. You know, they allowed him to get away with everything. Yay. So we probably won't know the truth until he unalive, until he just transition out and go where he's supposed to go. That's the only time we're going to find out the truth, right? Maybe we live.
What about Prince Andrew? Do you think that will cause some issues for Donald Trump?
I think anything could cause issues for Donald Trump, but it's not going to cause issues for Donald Trump. You understand? We have our embarrassment to the world. You mean to tell me that England could arrest a prince? And they didn't have the nerve to tell us, because I read the document, the arresting documentation, and it doesn't have anything to do with Virginia G. They said it's because of a possibility that he did some illegal, like trading with Epstein and provide him with illegal confidentiality documentation and stuff like that. They say for public misconduct. So we still don't know if the public misconduct is included what he did with Virginia. And we know the fact is that they found additional evidence in the files that proved what he did to Virginia. Because he lied about it. We all know he lied. But at least they found additional emails and receipts that says that he actually engaged in sexual predatory behavior with Virginia. You understand what I'm saying? So we got that much. But you think anything gonna happen with Donald Trump? No. Because even our MAGA brothers and sisters, which we have to give credit for, because it wasn't the Democrats that pushed back and wanted the Epstein files. It was the MAGA community, the MAGA brothers and sisters that were like, yo, you promised us that we are going to get these Epstein files. Now, obviously, they didn't, because they wanted to bring down the Democrats. We know this. But at the end of the day, you guys were able to get this whole Donald Trump feet to the ground, and we got most of everything. No, we got half of everything. And we know that he's been referenced 38,000 times, right? Ted Lieu, one of the congressmen, says that in the files, there is receipts that indicate that Donald Trump did some unspeakable things to an underage child, right? He said it out publicly. I didn't say it. He said it. And he saw the Epstein files. He saw the unredacted, most of it. So this is where we at in the world, right? But nothing is going to happen to Trump, because even though MAGA worked very, 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 very hard to get these files, and they were just going after Democrats, they're clutching their pearls when it comes to Donald Trump, right? Didn't we have somebody named, what was it, Buckeye last time on our live that said he doesn't care? He was the most truthful MAGA supporters that I've seen on our live. He said, I don't give a damn what he did. I voted for him and I'm happy about it. You see, that's where they are. So there's a lot of push-pull. There is some MAGA, spokespersons that's coming out that supported Donald Trump and like, okay, something, like we need to know the truth. There's others that saying, yeah, we want to know the truth, like the head of the Congress that's actually conducting the hearings and the commissioner that's been commissioned to actually investigate the Epstein files. He's out here saying that I know that Donald Trump did nothing, but everybody else did, and we want to know what happened. So we still have that. We still got the push and pull. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen to Donald Trump. He's going to get away with it.
Okay. Did you hear that they're going to have the deposition of the Clintons at their home here in
Oh,
New York?
I did not hear that. I heard that I thought they were going to Washington D.C. I mean, they were going to meet Congress and you know, and
No, it's going to be this week. I'm going to try to cover it Thursday and Friday. It's going to be at their home.
the 26th.
Yes.
I heard it's the 26th, right?
Yeah. I just heard it's Thursday and Friday. It's going to be at their home.
Oh shoot! Damn it!
That's what I heard tonight while I was driving.
If they're in New York, then I could. Shit, that means I'm gonna excuse my language. So I could just be outside. No, I can't do it. I can't. No, I can't.
They don't live that far from me, so I'll be able to drive down.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna. Oh, so they live way far from me, but I wouldn't do it anyway because it would be a conflict for me to see it. Even though if he has done anything wrong and and we have receipts that indicate and he needs to be held accountable, then I'm gonna have to be like, you have to be held accountable like everybody else. But I'm going to be listening to see what was said because it's not going to be public, right? Because they wanted a public hearing.
It won't be public, but they did say the media would be outside, so I'll be outside.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be hearing what you have to say about it. I'm sorry, they wanted to do it, according to mine, they said they wanted to do it public, but apparently they don't want them to speak publicly. They need to, at the end of the day, speak publicly so we know what the hell happened. You know what I mean? But I'm just hoping, and my hope, and I hope that if Bill and Hillary heard it, I hope y'all connect Donald Trump every which way but loose. So did you know Epstein? Yeah, I met him through Donald Trump. How did you meet him? Because Donald Trump invited me to his wedding, and Epstein introduced us. And what else happened? Yeah, we flew in the plane together. Did you see Donald Trump in the island? Yes, I did see Donald Trump in the island. He was right there in the pool, right next to me, right there. There he is, right there. He was right there. Do you have receipts? Yes, I have receipts. He had a relationship with the man for many years. That was his boy, and that was my boy. So he connected the two of us, and we hang out together. That's what I want Bill Clinton to talk about. I want him to use this opportunity and Hillary to connect the dots of how Donald Trump knew Epstein. That's what I want. That's what I want. So let's see if it happens. Let's see if it works out.
Okay. All right. You seem like you get really agitated when Donald Trump comes up.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Not the first time.
No.
I could smile about it now, but of course, you know how I feel about the situation. You know how I feel about Donald Trump.
What did he do to you?
He's an evil man.
What do you mean?
I don't like evil. I don't like evil people. I have a problem with evil. I have a problem with evil people. He's evil. And he hasn't changed. He hasn't shown us in any way that he could change. He's too old to change anyway. He's a psychopath. You understand what I'm saying? He got away with so much stuff. You know something? And when you're that wealthy and that powerful, you get away with so much stuff, then you don't need to explain yourself, right? You don't need to be a good person. You don't need to be a caring person. You could just be an arrogant asshole and try to run things your way and keep it moving. And the American people allowed him to do that. Congratulations, American people. So I don't like evil people, and I think that he's evil.
Okay.
I love the way people say I have no idea what I'm talking about. Why does she answer the what? The same space. What the hell are you telling me? Why is he evil? Why he's a psychopath? Because this fool robbed people, right? He robbed people. He robbed contractors, right? He refused to pay his bills. There's proof of that. There was a story of a contractor who had a best friend who he warned not to build, not to construct. I don't know if it was a house or do renovation. It was renovation. And I don't know if it was the renovation at Trump Tower in his apartment. He begged his friend not to do it. And his friend did it. And Donald Trump did not pay the bill. Donald Trump did not pay the bill. So you know what the guy did? And the story's out there. Just Google it. Just look it up because there's so much receipt. You see, I live in New York. I know this asshole. I know his reputation down here. See, a lot of you guys don't, and y'all don't care to know. This mofo did not pay this guy, this guy. And the friend talk about it to this day. He said that my friend paid off all of the bills for everyone who worked, and then he unalived himself. You understand what I'm saying? That's just one. Also, he tried to unalive 6 young black men, boys, teenagers that had absolutely nothing to do with the horrific actions of one on the Central Park female. But yet he spent his money. He wanted to put in the New York Times to unalive them when they had nothing to do with it. Where this psychopath has been feeling and touching and grabbing women all over the place and assaulted them for years. But he could do it, right? He has a right because he's a rich white man. But anybody else can't do what he does. He's a freaking liar. He's a cheater, right? And he's a pig.
So you're not saying YT today?
What? No, for the white.
You've had a change of heart.
We're talking on YouTube, so I'm probably gonna get in trouble on TikTok, but we're talking on YouTube. As long as you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. So that's who he is. He wasn't even to hold it in his trunk to even keep one wife. How many wives he ended up having? What, 4, 3, right? He just so. Oh my God! And what did he do to his brother? The brother that is Mary Trump's father. What did he do to that? He wasn't even able to help him at the end of the day, right?
What do you mean? Explain.
So his brother, according to Mary, the father gave most of the funds to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump promised, because he had another brother, but the brother was drank a lot and stuff, and had a lot of issues. So allegedly Donald Trump was taking care of the son of the brother, his nephew, who is severely handicapped, right? According to Mary Trump now, when her father got very sick, sick, obviously drunk and unalived, Donald Trump, right before his father unalived, stopped taking care of his nephew because he didn't like the way his brother treated him. It had nothing to do with the nephew. He just stopped, and that's Mary Trump brother. You understand what I'm saying? So you have his own niece out here talking about what kind of an evil asshole he is, right? Evil asshole. And a lot of people have drunk rug addicts in their family, and guess what they do? They take care of them. And even if they don't take care of them, they take care of the family. And even if they don't take care of the family, they take care of somebody who is handicapped in an institution. That's what you do with family. But at the end of the day, he has a niece called Mary Trump who tells us everything about him. She already said she has a recording of Donald Trump's sister talking about Donald Trump, he's. I don't know if she used the R word, but she did say that he is egotistical and he's just a bad person. That's his own sister, right? So you have your sister talking about you. You have your niece talking about you. I don't even know you and I don't like you. So he's an evil person, right? We know this. Having ex with Stormy, with the Stormster. Right after Melania had your kid, you couldn't even stay with. And what's up with him burying Ivana Trump at his golf? Did he actually put her there in one of his golf properties? And what is the mystery of her being unalived? Right? It's so much. He's just a psychopath, in my opinion. But they love him, so what we're gonna do? They love him.
All right. So what do you foresee happening with Prince Andrews?
I think Prince Andrews, if they find any evidence, because they went to both his properties, and if he was smart, he would have burnt everything. But if they find anything, then I think they're going to actually go through a trial with him, and he's going to have to he's going to plead out. Right, get a deal, because they're gonna have to take away his passport, because he's gonna be out of here. Probably end up in Bali's with Russell Simmons and Diddy when Diddy come out. He's probably gonna go to a place where they can't extradite him. But But if he's still there, I think they're going to go to trial. Now the thing is, the British people are very harsh in their opinions of royalty, right? It's not back in the days when they actually love the Queen of England. They're very harsh on the younger generation, and I include Andrew and Charles as considered as the younger generation. They don't like the monarchy. So I think they'll be able to find 12 jurors to, if they have the receipt and the evidence to find him guilty of the charges, right? But we don't know. It depends how good his lawyers is. It depends how good the juror that they pick. But right now they're looking for evidence of public misconduct, but I think it has to do with more with money. And this is another thing. They could actually catch Trump too with the money situation. They just don't want to. You think that Trump and didn't have any type of financial dealings with Epstein? I often wondered why the Queen of England was so nice or so cordial to Trump, and why a lot of people were so nice and cordial to Trump when he is just an a-hole. It would be interesting to find out maybe one day that the Queen of England had a conversation with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump told her what he knew about Andrew, and that's why she kept the peace. You understand what I'm saying? It looked like every leader, and there's a lot of leaders, right, that had anything to do with Epstein, has been trying to hold favor with Donald Trump for fear, for with the hope that he could keep, whatever evidence they have against them, um, away from them. There's a lot of redacted names. They're releasing the names of all of the survivors. The law says, the policy says, you have to redact the name of all the survivors, but then they're releasing the survivor names, their addresses, their email, their phone number. Some of these survivors, their parents didn't even know they were traveled by Epstein, but yet they're hiding the information and name of all the billionaire or rich people that was part of it, unless they except if they're Democrats. If they're Democrats, they prefer to release it, but everybody else, they're trying to hide it, right? There's supposed to be some type of request that was sent out that they wanted to know every lawmaker, current and past, that had anything to do with Epstein, and they're holding out that information. DOJ is holding that information out. Talking about that case, did you know that the Alexander brothers was allegedly in the Epstein file, and that the judge stopped the release and put
Yes.
says any references, and they also almost, and she said no because the defense was trying to get a mistrial because of that information, and the judge said no. So if they in the Epstein file, come on, it's crazy.
Right. So let's switch up again. I want to talk a little bit about this Nancy Guthrie case.
Mhm.
What do you think, just from whatever you observe online or what have you? What do you think in regards to this case?
I haven't updated myself in the case for at least the past week because I've been really concentrating on the Alexander brothers, because I really want us to start really concentrating on that, because not too many people are interested, because survivors mean nothing in this world, right? Even young survivors, nobody care. They only care about the rich and the powerful. So I haven't listened to the Nancy Guthrie. You tell us what the update that you know, because I know that you're down there. I've been watching your live today. I saw that you were outside, and I saw somebody was fixing something like a tripod. Was that you or somebody else that was fixing the tripod in front of your camera today?
Could have been. I'm not sure. Tripods. So many people out there with tripods. I'm not sure what you saw. You know what time it was.
Yeah, so I saw that, but so what? Tell us what's going on with the case, because you've been
All
up.
right. Well, I could tell you I'm tired. No, very tired. I've been standing all day for the last 2 days. I'll give you a little
What,
briefing on it.
you don't
Go
bring a
ahead.
chair? You can't bring a chair. What happened? It's not professional for you to sit down.
Yeah, but I'm interacting with people, so it's hard to sit down and do that. So,
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Go ahead.
plus there's just so much going on. It's not the safest environment, if you ask me. So,
Okay, that's a good question. I'm glad you mentioned that. Are you saying the environment is not safe for her to live there, or are you saying that because of all the activity, it's not a safe
well,
environment?
I'm talking about the area because of what happened to her. A lot of people don't know who's behind it. So when you're out there, you don't even know. They say generally when people commit a crime,
They come back and watch
they
that.
come back, they try to mingle.
Mhm.
They're probably in your chat. They're probably, you just don't know. So the individuals will be like a ghost. So
It's-
you don't know who it is or what the next plan is, you know.
So have they? Because I haven't been paying attention to TMZ and I'm not the only one. Apparently, someone else agrees with me when I told you that I felt that TMZ is capitalizing on this story. I just felt that they weren't upfront and forthcoming to the family, and they may have submitted the letter to the authorities, but they just seem like they vultures to me on this story. Again, I always say I could be wrong, I could be mistaking it, but someone else felt the same way. So I don't listen to TMZ because I think that they're doing too much when it comes to this. But other than that, I haven't heard that they found them. I found her. I don't know if there was another letter sent out. I don't know. Maybe everybody's being quiet now because with all that information, and they have the video of the person that came to the door. So I don't know what's going on. What did they tell you? What did you find out? Go ahead.
Um, Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Well, they did receive a fifth letter. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So basically, there's a few key points. There was a lawyer from I think the Midwest that put a extra $100,000 into the pot, so I think it's now at 200,000.
Okay.
Now they're saying, at least the sheriff is saying that it's potentially a second person involved, at least in her disappearance. And if you think about it, if a person is 84 and they claim she was somewhere around 140 to 150 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's, I don't want to say dead weight, but if for some reason, I'm not trying to insinuate that she would have been dead, but
I see.
trying to handle her weight, if she wasn't able to walk a distance, one person would have a really hard time. So they think it's the second person. Then the sheriff is saying perhaps she could have gone beyond the border. Another update is that they went back, searched the house again. They found more DNA. So why didn't they find it the first time around? Nobody really knows that.
Mhm.
And then simultaneously, you have different neighbors that they have arrested, and they've been working on clearing these individuals. The media is saying that they have been cleared, but then people still, even though you might be cleared from the police standpoint, people still hold you in that pot, you know. So it's very difficult.
So how has the family? I see that you said there's a fifth letter. Has the family came back out again and make another plea?
I don't think so. Not within the last 48 hours. I don't believe there's been any additional information from the family.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's horrible. I mean, there's not much to say about this case. It's just a horrible situation. Like I've mentioned to you before, I'm just not to blame the family, not to blame. I'm not trying to blame the family, but it's just hard pressed for me to believe that your 84-year-old mom is living by herself without any help or any aid. And I understand because my mom the same. She doesn't want to be bothered. She want to do things her own way. She's still grown. She has her own capacity. I know they love their mom because the mom just had dinner with them the same night. My concern is that why didn't she have anything that she could press? Why is the system that they have was so faulty? Also, why didn't anybody know that she was missing when she until they realized that she didn't go to church? Like this is the kind of thing like we need to be, especially in today's society with everything that's going on, we need to make sure that our parents are taken care of and covered. Even if we love them, even if they grown and we kids, especially if we have parents that is elderly, and if they're living in a multi-million dollar house, how the hell are you living in a $4 million house and your security system is crap? It's crazy to me. So again, I'm not blaming the family, but I think that's the most we should really think about in the future as a society. Uh, this world is crazy right now. It's a free for all. That we need to start protecting our own family to make sure that nothing like this happens. The celebrities better start looking at their families because So we never know who's next. Now that these people have decided to do this, we don't know who's next. So they need to make sure that they protect their family members too, especially if they're wealthy. Both any nationality, any color, we need to start protecting our families. Crazy right now.
Yes, indeed. Unlike New York, I will tell you something. Here is a little bit different. The media, for some reason, I'm talking about the legacy media,
Mm-hmm.
they're not used to having YouTubers or independent journalists in the mix. So they're really going crazy around here.
I mean, they
They,
pissed off at us. They were pissed off at us at the Diddy trial.
they're officially asking for the independent journalists to leave, to go, you know. So
The nerve!
yeah, the
Are you
politicians,
serious? What's the
yeah,
sheriff doing about it? What's the sheriff doing about it?
not the sheriff, it's the politicians. They're
I know
saying,
the politician, but what the sheriff is doing about it, because they can't kick you out, but they can have the sheriff remove you from the facility. But I'm saying, what is the sheriff trying to do about it? Did they say
nothing,
anything? Okay,
nothing. It's not to that level. No.
good. That's crazy. I told you I got into a big fight with two male reporters in November during the bail hearing. I cussed these men out so bad, Lord. It's on live. I have it on live. I told these men off so bad. No, I probably put it private because I'm supposed to download it and put it on my new channel. I told these guys off so bad it was disgusting. I'm like, I don't know who the hell you get. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
And that was before I had a press pass. I was just being there by myself. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand that disrespect that they give to the independent media. And I kind of feel empathy for them because a lot of them went to school for it. They went to school, they went to college, they got their masters in journalism. They spent a lot of money to hone their craft. And then all of a sudden you have some bunch of people who are just talking a bunch of crap coming into your circle and trying to run things and say, I'm media too. You understand? So I can understand that. But unfortunately, legacy media is on some BS. You see, CBS is capitulating to everything that Trump has to do, right? The other day, there's allegedly who is it? Colbert, his interview with a Democratic candidate in Texas was pulled. Now I'm hearing Jasmine said there's a clip that said that Jasmine is questioning what happened. I don't know why she's questioning it. So, but Colbert is coming out saying is that what happened. So right now they can't talk about the Epstein files, legacy media. They can't bring whatever host they want. There's this CBS executive director who is a white woman, and I can't think of her name right now, but she's apparently running everything, and she's going crazy cooking for Cocoa Puffs. She let them live. My whole thing in life right now, let everybody live right now and do what they're gonna do, because you're gonna be held accountable. Because he's not a vampire. When he transitioned out of here, a lot of people are gonna be called up to task, and I can't wait to see. I hope I live long enough to see it, because you over here stopping media from even. So the only way people are even finding the true feelings, because a lot of people talk about conspiracy. There's a lot of conspiracy talk. There's a lot of misinformation that's out there. But the only way that you're actually finding out the unfiltered truth is through independent media, because the legacy media is being controlled. And I never thought I would say that. There's only a handful, like Lawrence is not being controlled. Rachel Maddow, she's not being controlled. There's some of them that's out there that is just speaking their mind. I would give Fox News some credit, but these mofos are just a bunch of conspiracy, lying, Trump covering, GOP MAGA assholes. So I can't give them that. But even in their craziness, they'll say something because their leadership wants to cover Trump any which way. So it's not the same thing as independent media out here saying that, hey, this guy's an a-hole. This guy's doing some bad things. They are unaliving people. ICE is unaliving people. ICE caused this woman to lose a baby because they dropped her on her stomach. They took a very sick 3-month-old and his family, escorting them out of the United States with $190, where the lawyer had to cross over Mexico to find the family to get them to a hospital. You understand? People are not saying these stories. Not easily. It takes us to be out there. It takes you to say, I'm going to pick up and I'm going to go down there to find out what's happening and to find out why is it that you have a multi-million mom of a huge celebrity still missing. Why is that? But if it was somebody else, they may have been able to find them. So that's just my thing.
Somebody else like who?
Somebody, I'm sure if it was one of the Donald Trump's people or Donald Trump people, they would have probably found it by now.
Yeah, I doubt it though, because I think in the case of this Nancy Guthrie, I think Cash Patel really wants to be able to say they solved this case.
I don't know.
And
look who's Cash Patel. They could have had legitimate, long-standing experience leadership in these agencies. You have several fools that's running these agencies that they can't even what? They can't, they only know their left from their right, their butt from their face. They don't know nothing, right? It could have been anybody else that could have run that the FBI or DOJ that could already know what's going on. They got rid of so many people. They got rid of so many people, and they put a lot of MAGAs out there. No disrespect to MAGA, but please don't come at me. Because I know a lot of you guys are talented. And a lot of you was already in the FBI, because FBI, especially FBI New York, is full of Make America Great people. I know that for a fact because I met some of them. You understand what I'm saying? They were very happy with Trump. So there are FBI agents, DOJ agents, long-term that actually know the job. But isn't it weird that you have Cash Patel that's out there that's running the agency, and they're supposed to have every single like latest equipment, surveillance. They're supposed to have the investigators to track down this woman. How can a woman just disappear like that? Somebody as famous, her daughter is famous, and you can't find them? I have to blame the leader because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you got rid of the real investigators, the people that could actually do the work. You got rid of them because DEI or because Donald Trump didn't like Comey or Donald Trump didn't like Andrew, whatever his name is. Andrew, the other FBI. A lot of people left because of Donald Trump. You lost the experience, and now they can't find a hole in the ground.
so wait, you blame Donald Trump for Nancy Guthrie not being solved?
I blame Donald Trump for putting an experienced guy that can't find a hole in the wall. That's what I blame.
Well, okay.
I don't understand how is it. I'm sorry, guys, I'm coughing. I don't understand how is it that they're supposed to have the best equipment, and they can't find. It's not. I mean, they can't. Most of the time, they can't find everyday people. We know this. Most of the time, they don't care to find everyday people, right? But you talk about somebody that's famous. Her daughter is famous. She's a millionaire. You mean to tell me you guys can't even find the fact that you told me that they had to go back to the house and find additional DNA? Just tell me all I need to know about the case. Everybody that's working under Cash Patel himself is an idiot. So, I don't know.
I think the feds are pretty much restricted because unless it goes across state lines or has some electronic component, the local sheriff would have to give them permission or ask for the feds to get involved. And I think that's the issue.
So did you confirm that, or did you just think? Because maybe it's just because I watch so many TV. I thought the federal government could come in if it's someone if it was, because they could pick a case, and she's supposed she is a celebrity mom and a millionaire. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought that they could automatically take over the case, because look at what happened with Renee Good and Alex Pretty. They just came and took over the case. They pushed the state out of it. Why? Because they are these are federal agents. That's why they could do that. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just maybe I had a different assumption, but I'm making an ass, as they say. But I thought the FBI can come over if a case is big enough, have public interest, could actually take over a case.
Even Donald Trump said what I just mentioned. They would have to ask for the additional help. So that's how it works.
And now Donald Trump is, hold on. So let's just say that's true. And I believe that you say it's true. Donald Trump says it's true. Has Donald Trump asked permission for anything since he's been in office?
I wouldn't. I don't think so.
Exactly. So Donald Trump is not even listening to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court. He's not listening to the court that says do not fly these people out of this country and dump him in a Cuban or Venezuela jail. Bring them back. He's not listening to anybody. So you want me to believe that Donald Trump all of a sudden and his DOJ all of a sudden want to listen when they don't listen to nothing. They don't give a damn enough about this case. They don't. Because I think if it was somebody important to Donald Trump, somebody with some money, somebody with some coins, because you forgot what is Nancy's daughter, Miss Godfrey, first name, the reporter. What is her name?
Savannah.
You know, Savannah did her and Donald Trump had a conflict because of an interview that she did on Donald Trump before, right?
Yeah, I watched it all.
You watched it, right? Was it a great?
Yeah.
I think she did a great job, but was Donald Trump happy about it?
Of course not.
Of course not. So do you think that Donald Trump give a damn about this woman? No. Because if it was anybody else, he would have been on Kash Patel ass. He would have moved the sheriff department away. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. They would have had their own independent, even if they're candidate, they would have had their own independent field office looking for somebody that Donald Trump, because Donald Trump don't care about nobody, but he cares about that money. He cares about that clout. You understand what I'm saying? So if it was somebody important to them, they would have done everything. They wouldn't have given that. So I don't want everybody coming to me and say, oh, he's just following the rules and the law. And they say that, he can't help. So come on, give me a fucking break. Donald Trump don't give a damn about all that. He doesn't care enough. He doesn't care enough about that family. He's pissed off. And Donald, we all know, if you don't know, please tell me you know that Donald Trump could hold a grudge. Please tell me you guys know. Even the MAGA that support him, that love him, and say that he's an asshole, but he's my asshole. Y'all know Donald Trump hold a grudge. You think that man give a damn about Nancy? Come on, stop playing with me.
That's right. I want to ask you a question. So one of the things that a lot of the legacy media is saying, they're saying, Watching the World, JLR, these different channels, they're speculating.
Oh, they talk about you?
Yeah. So what do you say about that when they say, "Oh, you're speculating because"?
Well, hold on. Let's go a moment. Let's put some clap. Let's put some clap on the chat from Mel. What? Come on, Mel. Beautiful, man. You're out there. You threaten the legacy media. You are. Thank you, everybody. Can we put some clapping hands for Mel, please? Thank you. Go ahead, man. I hear you. They threatened by you. The fact of the matter is that we wouldn't be in the position if the media didn't allow the administration, right, to actually constrain their freedom to cover a story. We wouldn't be here right now, right? Because we would care. We wouldn't have a spot, right? Because people would trust the media to tell them the truth. The media is not telling the truth. And a lot of us, I know I'm not, I don't know about you. I know that you're not. And I'm not speculating. Like what they're trying to convolute is the gossipers, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love my guys. I love my people. We know some of them that's out here telling the story and stuff like that. I'm entertained. But some of us are actually also, because I do talk about celebrity things too, but I talk about celebrity I know, just like Miss Jones and Ebro. I know Miss Jones. I met Ebro. So I could talk about it. So I myself talk about people that I actually know. If I don't know them, I was like, well, this is what I'm hearing, blah, blah, blah. And I do a little gossip, but most of the stuff that I do is people that I actually know or have some experience with. But my coverage is mostly about court cases that has receipts. I show the receipts, I show the reports, and I'm like, this is what is happening. You know what I'm saying? So they don't need to, just like we shouldn't put, they don't need to compile us all into one bunch. Is that we are, but they also pissed off because they're getting a paycheck, and their paycheck is going to be cut. They're going to get fired and let go. I heard they just got rid of Anderson Cooper. They just got rid of him. Like,
Really?
that's is Anderson, right? That's what Don Lemon said. When we Google it, they just gave him his walking papers. So they're getting rid of every single person. I don't want to, because if I leave, then I probably froze. But they're getting rid of a lot of the Black content creators. I talked about this before. I talked about it since Joy Reid. I wasn't even thinking about Tanisha. Is her name Tanisha? I may have gotten her name wrong. The one that was originally and a spokesperson, that she got fired first by a Black producer because they said that she used the credit card. And I forgot her, you know who she is, but I can't think of her name. She was let go because she wasn't able to use she used the credit card on, but the fact of the matter is she used to piss off a lot of the white male guests, and she said something that pissed one of them off. Next thing, she's out of a job. So it started with her, but that wasn't during the Trump administration. That was before. But right now, a lot of the Black reporters, media, are being let go. Right. Also, now they start with the Black and brown. They're going to start working on everybody that's different. People don't even understand that, but they're going to start paying attention. Everybody that's different is going to be let go because now the media is turning white now. Just look, the media is turning white. Unless you have a local news that's talking about everyday thing, most of the people that is on cable news are turning white. They're leaning far right now. So they need to now be able to figure out what else they're going to do. And a lot of them is coming to YouTube, and they're having their own show, series and stuff like that. Patreons, they're setting up their own show. So they need to stop worrying about us and start preparing themselves, because they could be the next one in the chopping block. And they need to stop being haters, because not all of us are just talking shit. We do love to talk shit, like myself.
Now, Candyman says, let's not forget that Don Lemon was fired for accosting female coworkers.
So he was fired for accosting a female co-worker. That's what Don Lemon was charged with. That's why he was let go, right? So because I don't know why Don Lemon was let go. I thought Don Lemon was let go because of his reporting on the administration, and he pushed it too far. That's what I thought. I didn't know that there was a case where he accosted. So I will look that up. But Don Lemon is just one example of what's happening. He's one example. They are moving a lot of the brown and Black media heads out of their position. The only people that's staying is the uncle and the auntie Rucuses that could kiss the ring and act like, that we all good. You understand? They keeping them. Besides, and I'm talking about the media head that is on cable news and that's getting a lot of play. I'm not talking about the local reporters that's out here that's talking about the grocery stores or the local crime. I'm not talking about them. Most of them still have their job, but a lot of people that we see in the news, that is getting whiter. You understand what I'm saying? And they're doing it because they can, right? They're doing it because they can. So they shouldn't be angry. The legacy media shouldn't be angry at us, because they're going to be where we are very soon. And they need to be able to differentiate between the people that gossip and talk about celebrity stuff and people who are really taking this seriously and taking the time to find out about a story, to talk about a story, to investigate, to take hours off of work and hours of our time to find out the truth and be able to report it. That's what they're doing. We're doing the same thing. So we'll see.
The lady that used to run the United Nations, what was her name? Was it Haley or what was her name? I can't think of it. I'm too tired.
That's okay.
But she used to run the UN, And I believe Don Lemon referred to her age improperly, and that's why that was the catalyst in getting him kicked out.
So what? So what?
He said something about her age, like he was
65?
too old. Something about her age, and that's what made them. That was one of the things that really got him out of CNN, I believe.
Somebody said he said Nikki Haley. No, not.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nikki Haley. Yeah.
But Nikki Haley, I know somebody named Nikki Haley. That's what
He was making he was just talking, that's what most people do when they're in media, they're talking. He wasn't really thinking, I believe, and that's what got him jammed up. Yeah, that's right. Aaron said she was past her prime. That's it. So that was the reason.
She was past her prime. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason why he went out. But then on top of that, there's probably some other issues. Yeah.
I think that he got eventually let go because of the fact that they've been trying to get rid of him, because based on what Don Lemon said, they were upset. Hold on one second. They were upset because of the fact that he called Donald Trump a racist one time, and they were very upset about that portion of it. I think that they were just waiting for him to do something else for them to catch him. You know what I'm saying? And he just fell into their lap. To the point, and the reason why I say that is because he was so shocked, based on my recollection, he was so shocked when he lost his job. He wasn't expecting it. You understand what I'm saying? So if he wasn't expecting it, and he was that comfortable, because he must have been too comfortable, right? Then that's what happened. Right. So I don't think that he actually expected to be let go, but I think they just used that opportunity to get rid of him finally. You know what I mean?
So I heard today that some of the politicians here are going to try to restrict just YouTubers or independent individuals from coming to different scenes and broadcasting about it.
Well, I mean, I feel, they're gonna have one hell of a fight, because they're gonna. But again, and I'm gonna say it over and over again, right? Let's talk about it, right? Donald Trump doesn't care. That's why I say Donald Trump does not care about the rules and regulations, because the thing is, they're gonna have one fight, because it's not only us, black and brown people that talk. It's also white Trump supporters that also doing the same thing, right? So what are they going to do with the people that's reporting on the far right, right? What are they talking about? The Knicks of the worlds, right? What are they talking about? The other white guys that come up. What about what that fool Shirley? What's Shirley first name? The one that caused all the issues?
Nick Shirley.
Yeah, that fool, right? What about him? He's not going to be able to go to location. He don't have press pass. Unlike you and I, we actually are accredited press. We actually submitted an application. We got accredited. But a lot of people that are out there, and they can't keep us out. I tell you right now, when I go to court, I show my press pass. I'm in there. You understand? They can't.
I don't typically bring my press pass, but out here I wear it every day.
Yeah, you have to, because they want to kick you out. But there's a lot of these guys that are actually Trump supporters that are actually doing the same thing. So once they go too far with one of Donald Trump's favorite supporter, they'll be all right. They'll be right back in there. They're not gonna push too much.
So push the Mashona says, can they stop you from reporting if they aren't on private property? You want to answer that?
I mean, if you on private property, no one could go into private property. I mean, obviously, ICE don't think so. They changed the rule that ICE could run into a house without a warrant. But the rest of us in real life, you can't report. You shouldn't. If you're not allowed to go to private property if you're not invited. So, but you could be outside in the sidewalk, right? You could be outside in the sidewalk. That's public property.
Wait a minute. Aren't you the same person that said that Don Lemon could go into the church and you would go into the church too?
I said myself, first of all, a church is not considered private property, in my opinion.
That's not how you and I, we sit in court all day. It doesn't work on your opinion. So
okay. So is a church private property?
Absolutely.
I disagree. Anyway, but I'm saying we're talking about legally, right? I mean, reporters have gone into private
So let me clarify this. I went to New York City while I was there. I stopped by the press office, right?
Mhm.
And I asked them, I said, listen, can you go inside a church? They said, no, it's private property.
Really? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
check it
So
out.
I got that from, from the headquarters for press. So you can't go into a church.
You can't report it to you know how many. So
Now
all
you can go to church. Listen, you can go to church to pray.
no,
You
no, I'm
can
not talking about that.
serve God.
I'm talking about. Do we want to do a Google show? How many reporters went into the church? They you know how many reporters went into churches and reported on stuff? How did they catch a lot of the Catholic priests?
That's like that's
How
like
did they catch
researching.
a lot of the Catholic priests that was hurting children? They went into the church to cover these stories, but that
That's
was
like saying how many hungry people steal food. They have to eat, so it's okay to take it. It's not going to matter at the end of the day.
at the end of the day, you have to be rational. You have to have common sense at the end of the day. Reporters do go to church to report. And as I said, if I was there and I was covering a story, I've climbed over a freaking barricade at the Capitol. I wasn't trying to run and unalive the vice president or Congress. I was actually trying to get a conversation with John Lewis prior to him being unalived, God rest his soul, to get into the story, to get that story from him, to talk to him. You understand what I'm saying? So we've done a lot of stuff to get into a story and stuff to get into a
It
place.
wasn't. Wait a minute. It wasn't on January the 6th, was it?
No, that's why I said I wasn't trying to unalive. It wasn't January 6th. It was a different time. What I'm saying is that I know me. I know if there was a story to be had and I wanted to get the story, I've done stuff similar to that to get the story. And I said I am a reporter, just like Don Lemon said. I'm here to cover a story. I am reporting. He asking questions. Now, the First Amendment says very clearly that the press is exempt from certain liability. The press is sanctioned. And sanctioned, I'm probably saying the word wrong. So if Don Lemon is going through this case, we have to see what happens at the end of the case because it's going to impact all of us at the end of the day. You understand what I mean? It's going to impact all of us who wants to report on stories at the end of the day. But in regards to private property, I never thought that a church was private property. I'm not even going to lie to you. I thought a private church was a public property that you could come in. I've never heard that. But if that's what they
Where
say,
do you get? You think that's tax money?
it should be taxed, but it's not for profit. They don't pay tax.
But I'm saying, what makes you think it's not private?
It's almost like any other non-for-profit organization. Like maybe just because multiple people could go into the location, anybody could go in the location. I never thought a church. I believe you, but I never thought of a church as a private property. I'm sorry. I never thought. I've gone into so many different churches, and I'm not a member of a church. To me, a private property. Maybe it's just because it's open doors. I just felt that any place that was open doors was not a private property. I mean, I could be. You told me I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You understand? If you say I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, I just thought it was a public property. I just thought churches, synagogues, all of them was private property. I mean, public
They're
property. People could come
they're
in.
trying to say that he entered not just to cover the story, but he was a part of the movement.
Yeah, I know you said it. He has receipts. He already said, I have a video. He said, I've shown it over and over again. I'm going to show it in court exactly what happened before, after, and during to prove that I was reporting. And I clearly said again, and we keep talking about it every week, he announced that he was going down there to report on what's going on in Minnesota prior to him going there. He said it on his live. That's what he's doing. So I don't know. We just leave it. I'll just leave it at that. At that. I do believe that if it was me and I was trying to cover a story, I would have gone into a church. I also know I went into Trump Tower. So not Ted Cruz, Ted Kennedy was running. Ted Kennedy was running. Oh my God, I have to find that video. For president one time. I went into Trump Tower to interview Ted Kennedy. Walked right in. And I got him right before the conference. And I asked him a bunch of questions. I have to find that video. I'll have to find it and I'll share it to you. And I spoke to him. At the time, it was, daring. because I wasn't supposed to go in there. And I went in there and I got him to talk to me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I do. I've done it. So if I wanted to do a story and I knew it was going to be in a church, I would have probably gone in there to speak to somebody in the church, because I'm trying to cover a story. I'm trying to get the interview. So what he did was not shocking to me at all. Everybody's making it into a shocking thing. And another thing, and I bet if it was a mega report, if it was Fox News, and I know for a fact that Fox News has been in people's faces, have gone into people's houses and stuff like that, has harassed people. If it was a Fox News reporter that went into a Democratic church, there's no such thing as Democratic church, but they went to a church to harass a Democratic politician or a priest that is against ICE, we wouldn't be having the same conversation. They wouldn't dare arrest that person. They wouldn't dare bring up, oh, it's a face act, and you going against the face act. It would be bullshit. Donald Trump would laugh that shit out of the world. They'd be like, boy, please. Let's talk about Fox News and all the bullshit they put in. Let's look at find Nick Shirley, whatever that fool name is. He went into a daycare center with his camera. He was trying to push through the door to go in there and see if he could see if kids there. I wish that was my daycare center. I wish I found that little white skinny ass, and it was my grandkids or my kids he was trying to. We would have had words, and it would have led to some hands.
Oh my goodness!
You saw the video where he ran because a lot of the Somalian men,
I think you hold on.
Yeah,
sounds like you might need to go to church a little bit. You talking about violence.
I'm aggressive. Mel, don't even try it, because you know damn straight if you saw this crazy man trying to break into your children, your child, your grandchildren daycare center because he wants to do a oopsie, like, oh, let me find out, and you know your child is in there, and then some fool want to break in there. You would have had major issues. So why is it okay for Nick Shirley to do that, to get a story? And Donald Trump and everybody's up the crack of his ass and congratulating him. But yet with Don Lemon, oh, he went into a church. Come on, give me a fucking break. Like, this is another thing I hate about it. This hypocrisy makes me crazy.
Well, listen, you know,
it shouldn't be for anybody.
Don Lemon talks about Donald Trump every day, so you know what this is about.
Well, he makes mad bucks though. I have to congratulate Donald Trump, because Donald Trump just made Don Lemon infamous. Even Chris Cuomo, who is not who him and Don was friends, and then they fell out once when Don left Chris Cuomo, and then it turned around that Chris Cuomo got kicked out too. It's funny, Cuomo's a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Even him was like, yo, what Donald Trump did was so bad. And I think Chris Cuomo he's a Republican. I think if he's not a Republican, he's not very critical of Trump. But he was like, why did you do that? You just made this man infamous. You just made this man, you just brought so much view and support on this man. This man is going to be racking with these numbers. I'm hoping that they start looking at us and start racking our numbers over here. Like, when they gonna pay attention to what we gotta say? You understand? So Donald Trump did that. So he's just right now he became the icon of media, right? He became the one that's fighting for our rights, our First Amendment rights to tell a story. That's what he became. And Donald Trump did that. And it's DOJ. So we'll see what happens.
All right. I want to take a moment and say thank you to all the new subscribers we have here today. Thank you so much. It's awesome. We have Chris, Aaron, we have Eva.
Thank you.
Robin, we have so many great people. Thank you very much for coming over and subscribing.
Thank you for coming and listening to our outrageous. Mel is, just in case new subscribers, hi, I'm Mama Flip. If y'all don't know who I am, y'all can figure it out. Mel is the good, loving, understanding, welcome to everybody. And I'm the outrageous one. That's gonna
JJ, what's up, JJ?
Huh?
You're outrageous, but we're gonna try to get you into that church that Don Lemon went into to get you some hands laid on you or something.
I am not, as long as Donald Trump is alive, it's not going to happen. I'm going to speak my.
In fact, I'm going to get you into Donald Trump's. I'm going to see if I can get you into Donald Trump's church, huh?
That would never happen. That
Why
would never
not?
happen.
Why not?
God,
That doesn't sound like the Christian way.
smart. God is smart. God is smart. I believe in God. God is very smart. That would never happen. I will never threaten physical harm on anybody because I'm an advocate of nonviolence for many, many years and stuff like that. So it's not about that. I will cuss that motherfucker out so bad. I'll lose my job. The moment, don't let me be in the same room with Donald Trump. Don't ever. I will cuss him out so bad. It would, hey, pretty, thank you for coming in. Love you too. I will cuss Donald Trump up so bad. I will talk to him. You see, everything that these reporters could not say to Donald Trump, I would say it to him. I promise you. So please, for the love of God, let that not happen. Let this man live in peace and tranquility and think that he's the shit and that everybody love him, because the anger that is going to be pushed on that man, and it will not be, I would not step up to him because that's just not who I am. But you see me at work, though. You see me at work. You see me at work with the megas. Do I threaten them? I don't threaten them. I don't even stand next. I don't even come in their face. They come in my face. But my words piss them off. And then once they get pissed off, I'll be like, oh, Tito, did I hurt your feelings? Oh, are you all right? Oh, you don't like it, do you? This is my technique. First of all, I'm going to tell you what's on my mind, what's about. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to type that. And I'm like, oh, you don't like that? Guess what? What? You don't like it? I thought Donald Trump allows us to say whatever we want to say and do whatever we want to do. Y'all don't want to open up the door. Y'all don't want to tell us we were full of shit. We were sheepling. We don't know nothing. We stupid, a bunch of stuff. So now that we're giving you that same energy, now you're hurt. What can I do to solve the problem? What can I do to calm your feeling? You all right, baby? You all right? Oh, Tito, you know me. The conversation I would have with Trump. You wouldn't like me. There's no way. No way. God wouldn't do that.
Shout out to Zaina and JJ, and we also that girl Henny's in the building. Shout out to her.
Hey, how are you? Hey, that girl Henny. Me and that girl Henny was talking about you.
I think both of you guys are Trump supporters.
Oh, please. Have you ever had a conversation with that girl Henny? She's amazing too.
Of course, I know her quite well.
All right, y'all might want to have a conversation. Yes, she's amazing. She's more like you as far as less emotional. She can see the true picture and tell us so. Where I want to add every cuss, every attitude that I was born and raised with into my reporting, unless it's something serious like a court case. Then I'm still angry, but I'll tell the evidence. I'll show the evidence and everything. But yeah, that girl Henny is amazing. Love you, babe. With that said, yeah, they wouldn't do that to Donald Trump. The security, I'm sure security, I know that they already know who I am in real time. They already know who I am in real time. I wouldn't even be able to sneak into a place with this motherfucker without them having FBI knocking on my door. Please, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen at all. And the fact is, oh my God, did you see the uncles and the aunties and the nephew Rucuses going into the White House the other day for the Black History celebration? And what's going on with grandma? You have this grandmother, because I don't know her name, and I can't look it. I would look it up, but I can't look it up. If anybody know her name, please share her name on the chat. You have this grandmother who actually go into the White House with that fool standing next to him, saying how he is honest. At least he tells the truth. And she's supposed to represent us because her grandson went unalive. What I tweeted, like, my nephew unalive. And I'm a survivor. You understand what I'm saying? And I usually respect survivors. So I'm going to give her grace and allow her to think what she wants to think. But don't come out here trying to sell us some bullshit that Donald Trump is not a racist when we know he is. That Donald Trump cares about the Black community when he know he doesn't. Right? So here telling me bullshit. The man served for 4 years. I served 12 years and a pew pew, because I'm on TikTok. TikTok, give me a second. Let me mute this on a little bit because I don't want to get myself in trouble. I'll be back, TikTok. Gun violence work. National spokesperson for survivors for 12 years. Donald Trump did shit for gun violence. Nothing. He didn't give a fuck about nothing. He stood with the NRA. He allowed them to create all these various gun laws. He had blind people could get guns. People with mental health could get with serious mental health could get guns. People who actually were accused of abusing and stalking women and their girlfriends could get guns. It was gun. He's the one that implemented that helped Texas and all implement constitutional carry. Now you don't have a license in a certain state. You can just walk into 18, 19 years old, sometimes younger than that. If your father gets to give you a gun and you want me to believe, he did that for 4 years. The survivors went to talk to him. Survivors from Newtown went to talk, because I didn't go there. I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to speak to that fool. In the first 4 years of his administration, they went there and they sat next to that man. They looked at him and they told about what happened to the children in Newtown. And he said, he made promises to them. They talked about it. He made promises to them. As soon as they leave, he gets a call from the NRA. I forgot the leader name at the time. The one that looked like a nerd. I can't remember his name. I used to say his name all the time. He called them, and then all of a sudden, everything that he promised the family of Newtown and all the other gun violence, TikTok, pew pew violence survivors, he did none of that. And now you want to tell me that you have now this black female, this grandmother, who's trying to sell us some bullshit. It's almost like Nicki Minaj. I'm telling you, people, stop. We know who Donald Trump is. It's okay. You guys run the world. Stop trying to tell us this lie. It's all right. He's a racist. Okay. He's an ex-predator. Okay. He don't give a fuck about nobody. Okay, we know this. You guys know this. Don't come out here and tell us that he's something that he's not. Now, the video I saw about this young nephew, Ruckus, was showing a video up the line. People was dragging him because they said you only walk 5 minutes. You didn't even walk 5 minutes. You show the whole line. It's not even 5 minutes. Right? Then you show the line of people. He's like, oh, everybody keeps talking about how Donald Trump, he's a racist. And look at us. We here. I said, yes, yes, Neff. But there was a white T man behind him. And I tweeted behind him. I said, did you see that white T man behind you give you that nasty look? That's all. That's how we all feel together. We all appreciate that man look right now. He over here showing that you got a white T man looking at you with a nasty look behind your back. You ain't even paying attention. And you shared that video. You understand what I'm saying? So stop selling us this bullshit. It's okay. We get it. So yeah, that grandma and I have issues. Don't be coming here as a survivor talking your bullshit. Talk about you. Me and my family, we love him because he speak honest truth. But don't be telling me that he cares about us, our community, and gun violence.
Chris said
shit on it.
Chris says you're a prime example of feelings over factual information.
Tell me what he did for gun violence, Chris. Sorry, TikTok. Tell me what he did. I'm not talking about the fact that he tried to change the crime laws in order to get people out of jail quicker, because most of the people that's in jail are filthy rich, and because Kim Kardashian kissed his ass and tried to get a lot of people like Kodak Black out of jail. I'm not talking about the crime bills that he changed. I'm not talking about that, because his ass is a criminal, so he tried to make it easier. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about pew pew violence. I'm talking about things that unalive people. Tell me what the fuck he did to help survivors. That's what I want to know. I want you tell me as an advocate. I've been doing this fucking work for 12 years. You bring up one fucking thing that this mofo did for survivers. You know how it is, how hard it is to be survivors? You know how hard it is to lose a family member in these streets? You know half these people don't even have ways to even bury their loved ones? And don't come at me and say that, oh, it's their response. A lot of these kids, we have 2 years old, 4 years old in our communities being unalive. You have people that went to the library, they went to church being unalive. What the hell did he do for violence? And you let me know. Preach to me. Send me a fucking bill. And you got the grandmother out there trying to sell us some bullshit. Don't do that. And again, I don't like to go against survivors.
Captain Blackbird say you need to chill out.
No, I don't. I need you guys to understand the truth. I need you guys to stop lying and playing in our faces. It's okay. You won already. Accept the win. And that's another thing about Donald Trump. Accept the win. He won. You won. It's okay. We get it. You running stuff. But don't lie in our face. That's what I'm saying. Don't lie to me, because now I'm going to get upset and I might have to check you on the lie. Don't lie. Don't come in there and tell me that he cares about pew violence or gun violence when he doesn't. Just don't do that. Please. I have a friend, a very close friend. I'm not going to tell you who she is because she's probably watching. God bless her. Who actually was thinking, there was several people that I knew that was actually thinking that possibly they could have a conversation with the current administration because Biden implemented the bill. Let me tell you a prime example.
Oh boy.
There was a gun. Sorry, TikTok. Sorry, I'm about to get restricted. There was a unit in the White House for gun violence. It was the gun violence, the White House Gun Violence Prevention Office. I know most of the people that actually worked there. As soon as Donald Trump came in, he dismantled and let go of everybody. He could have took over that, or he could have reestablished it there. If he didn't want the Biden name on it, he could have came in and said, okay, we already have a structure here. We have a structure. He could have brought all his MAGA loving supporters and recreate that office. It was already established. They already had the mandates. They already had the salaries. They had the grants. He could have came in and restablished. He got rid of all of it. He's been here for more than a year. So what are we talking about? So don't have this old woman in there telling me some bullshit. I don't need that. As a survivor, I don't need that, and I don't think it was right. So anyway, we had all these black people in there. You know, you had these women dressing and wearing their wigs, except one she looked like she had a regular hair on, strutting down Washington D.C. all proudful, like, yeah, we going to the White House. Unks and aunties and nephews and stuff like that. I'm just going to explain something to y'all. 92% of us did not vote for Donald Trump. 87% of our black males did not vote for him. You are part of the minority, right? If you want to represent the blacks, and Donald Trump could use you as tokens, then that's up to y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all getting that money, that fame. There was a sister. Did I tell you about the sisters that was off the crack of his ass? And one of them unalived due to COVID. And he didn't remember her name at the funeral. Do you remember that? The two ladies that was, rapping and singing and acting like, like silly around him. Do you remember those two, the sisters? One of them unalived. I don't even know what happened to the second one. Did she come back? Is she part of his administration? I figured that he would. They made them a millionaire, according to my understanding. Donald Trump gave him millions of dollars. Is she back? I haven't seen her for a while, right? So now you guys who's walking strutting down with wearing all red, thinking that you the shit, but go talk to the sisters. Go talk to that one sister, see where she at. Why don't you guys pull her forward? And say, hey, sis, we remember how much you did for Donald Trump before. Come with us. We remember you. We recognize we love you. What we doing about her? You think that history gonna care about y'all? But either the other day, if you guys want to be loving and supportive of your MAGA community, you can do that. But don't act like you our spokesperson. That's all I'm asking. You don't speak for us. Nicki Minaj doesn't speak for us. She speaks for herself and a small minority of blacks. It's okay. But don't act as if you're coming to speak for us, because you don't. And that's what makes me crazy. It's okay to want to be selfish and care about yourself. It's okay to be delusional and to think that every MAGA, including the January 6th, is going to come and sit at your table and care about your children. Most of them are calling you the N-word behind your back. They may like the ladies. They might tap one or two of the ladies because they like black skin, But they don't respect you, my sis. They don't respect you, my bro. But if you think that, then I get it. Because I'm not a hater. If you know who my son is, you know I respect her hustle. I'm okay. Like I said with Nikki, I respect what she's doing. She needs to pay for her house. She needs to get her family United citizenship. She needs to make sure she doesn't get squatted. She over here talking about this man is handsome and sweet, and she's holding his hand and do all that. I get it, sis. You need to do what you have to do, but don't talk for us. Don't act as if you are our spokesperson. Speak for yourselves. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Anything else?
All right. So let's see.
I think you have to go because you were here longer
Pretty.
than you expected.
What do you say?
You're here longer than you expected. You were supposed to be out of here.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be out of here. I haven't heard. Pretty Ting says I haven't heard anything about Diamond and Silk in a while.
That's who they named. Thank you. Which one on the Pretty? I love Pretty. Pretty is one of my peoples from my other channel. Is it Pretty Pink? Wait a minute. Is it Pretty Things? It's Pretty, my girl, right? That's talking. Can you tell me which one of them unalived? Which one unalived, Pretty? Which one was the one that unalived and that Donald Trump didn't even remember her name? That Donald Trump didn't even remember when she was like, he was, I got to give them credit. That's this credit. She got him to speak. But he didn't remember. He couldn't tell the difference between the two sisters after they embarrassed themselves and groveled to be in his company. Well, they had songs and singing and all that stuff like that. They were really? Where is she? Why is she not front? Why don't she have a cabinet position? Where is she? And that's the same thing that's going to happen to all of them. Because what they forgot is that I remember 4 years ago when all of the black presidents for the HCU came and with their hands out, opening and trying to talk to Donald Trump, and they didn't get the money. I remember when all the pastors went and talked to Donald Trump the last 4 years, and they got degraded. Right now, y'all living a sweet life because y'all think it's going to sustain. I learned, I'm 58 years old, and I'm a black woman in Brooklyn, and I know things change constantly. What's constant is change. So whatever y'all think y'all got is going to be taken away under the next administration. So what are you going to do now? You're going to come back over here? Because a lot of people was coming back after Donald Trump was out of here, was like, oh, that's not what I meant. Steve Harvey was a prime example.
So listen, I'm gonna check out at this point. All right.
Oh no, okay, no, you're not.
I'll come back on at some point.
No, because I'm gonna let you. It was Diamond that passed away, and may she rest in peace. Diamond, may you rest in peace. But your sister Silk, where's she at? Anyway, I know you have to go, guys. I am gonna go on live.
But listen, I can give you till we have 30 more minutes. So if you want to take those 30 minutes, I can come back in 30 minutes.
Okay, so guys, so let's talk about. Thank you, Mel. So let's talk about.
I'll be back in 30.
Okay, good. All right, guys. So hey, so let's stop talking about Trump, and let's talk about the Alexander brothers. Okay. I want to thank everybody for being here and stuff like that. If you guys have to go, you have to go because I know Mel is not here. So you guys probably want to be out of here because you don't want to talk to the black woman in Brooklyn. I get it, right? So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. But let's talk about the Alexander brothers. And I hope he gave me access to share information. The reason why I wanted to talk about the Alexander brothers and I started my own separate live and then I joined Mel here is because this is an important case. Okay. Believe it or not, and I'm hard pressed to say this case is worse. And I know a lot of our people, especially our black and brown people, we took the side of Diddy and did not believe that Jane and Cassie was victims. I don't agree with you guys. It gets me very upset every time I think of the conversations I've had with people that was covering the case who ended up being like, even though, oh, I'm not Diddy supporter, but I do understand. It was a relationship. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. He was a man of excellence. They were trying to railroad him. All that bullshit, right? All the bullshit that everybody had about Diddy is not in this case. It is not. This case is crazy. Okay? So I want to share the court documentation that I have so we could read it together. Hopefully I could see it. so you can see what the case is about. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to stop. Because sometimes there's an echo if I don't remove this on YouTube. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to. Why are you giving me? Okay, thank you. I got it. Okay. So here we are with this case. Please, if you have. Oh, shoot. I never did go live. Damn it. Hold on, guys. I forgot to go live on Instagram. Hopefully, some people on Instagram came on YouTube. Hold on 1 second. All right. Let's see if it's going to allow me. Instagram, sorry about that. I keep forgetting to click the button for you guys to come back on. But if you guys on Instagram, if you guys never see me, then hey Instagram, hey Lucy Bond, I'm sorry. I hope I thought I pressed the button, but I didn't. So you guys missed like a good like half an hour conversation. So please go into YouTube. If I start a live and it doesn't continue, please go to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and just Mama Flip Slots, the watching the world, and you'll see me. So anyway, we're going back to talk about the case. Okay, so let's go back. I'm sorry. Let's see if it's going to allow me to share it. Okay, share the screen. I just had it up. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to. Okay. So this is a case file. Okay. Here's the overview. Okay. It is the United States of America versus Alon Alexander, Uran, and Tall, which I keep thinking that they say Paul, right? And these are the brothers. Here's a summary. We are well. I can't make it any bigger, can I? For well over a decade and all times relevant to the indictment, Alon Alexander, Aaron Alexander, and Tall Alexander, collectively, the Alexander brothers, the defendant, worked together and with others, known and unknown, to reportedly and violently rug, SA, and great dozen of victims. At times, the Alexander brothers arranged for these. Let me just change the ticket. Guys, I'm going to have to take you guys out because Tickety Talk is going to give me a problem. In fact, I'm going to lower it. So you guys, I'm going to read it, but you guys can't see the document because TikTok is going to give me a problem. Ruggs said, at the time, the Alexander brothers arranged for these actual assaults well in advance, using the promise of luxury experiences, travel, and accommodation to lure and entice women to locations when they were then forcibly raped and SA'd, sometimes by multiple men, including one or more of the Alexander brothers. Other time, the Alexander brothers encountered and chose their victim by choice, by chance. Often the Alexander brothers rugged their victims before assaulting them, preventing them from fighting back or escaping. Along Alexander and Aaron Alexander and Tall Alexander, the defendant worked together and with others to carry out and facilitate their traveling scheme, including in some occasions by committing forcible rape and essays together and with others, jointly arranging domestic and international travels and accommodating and jointly financing this scheme. So there's a bunch of background. So I'm going to stop right here, right? So there is a lot to be said. Hopefully you guys could see me. I'm going to flip seriously. This violence keep happening. It's happening while we here right now. They don't care. Exactly. So hopefully, guys, am I freezing up? Because I want to be able to continue to read. The reason why I stop is I want to make sure I'm not freezing up. Because I know when I go to YouTube, the other YouTube, I freeze up. So that's the summary. So I'm going to give you a quick update. And then I have all the documents. There's several documents. There's also statements from the witnesses that was submitted in the case. No, not right now. So was I frozen when I was reading, when I left and I was reading the file? Pretty, did I freeze or I didn't freeze? Let me know. So I didn't cover.
Yeah, you froze.
I did freeze it. Oh, so Mel said I froze, but Pretty said no. So, but Mel said he froze. So did you see me when I was reading? Why did Pretty say no? You said yes, Mel. It showed the file. It showed the file, but but it did both. Okay, so it showed the file. So it doesn't matter if
Before I added you back on, right? Before I made the switch and added up the posts,
yeah.
you were freezing. So
Oh, okay.
you're okay now, though.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mel. So just to tell you, I wasn't able to go to court from the very beginning because I work, but Mel did, and he went to several of the hearing and he heard and he told me about the horrific testimonies of what he heard. I went to several, I think I went to 3, and today would have been my 4th day. And when I first went there, they were talking to a psychologist, and they were trying to get the psychologist. They were trying to feed the defense is that there's several defense that here's just a summary. 2 things that the defense is trying to prove, or they alleging. One, the victims, it didn't really happen to the victims, and the reason why they're coming out now is because they saw it on social media and they saw traumatic incidents happen to other people, and because they participated willingly, they are now trying to go after the brothers by using other people's experiences and making them their own. And that's why the cross-examination of the psychologist, they will talk about studies in which it says that social media can lead you to think that you were traumatized or raped when you wasn't. So that's one. The second thing they're trying to prove is that the ladies are liars, just like before. Mark, that's why they hired Mark Amnophilia, because he spent all his time trying to dragging the survivors of the Diddy trial and making them appear like if they were hoes. And he was very successful. And that's why the jury did not find Diddy guilty in all five, only 2 of the cases, right? So he's trying to do the same thing there. So what they're trying to do, and they have 11, can I tell you, 11 lawyers. Each brother has lawyers. So when they go up there, they look like there's a sport team to speak to the judge and stuff like that. So they have 11 lawyers, and they're trying to now dissect, just like they did with the Diddy trial and every survivor trial. You have the survivors will speak to the government first, the prosecutor, and they will have their statement. They will make their statements, and then I believe the defense also have a right to speak to them before the trial. But at the trial, what they do is they bring up a statement. They bring up the statement, and they will compare to what they told the government versus what they told the defense and what they're answering in trial. When I went there, they were speaking to the 16-year-old survivor, right? And they spent a lot of time trying to find out why she was going to a party. So what happened to her is that she didn't go to her prom because she was invited by this guy named Matt that she knew. And she likes to party with Matt. She said she and her friends would go to different parties. And then Matt told her and invited her to a party at the Hamptons. Now, she was in a boarding school. And I knew that there was on some type of timing. When they asked her, the first question was like, "Oh, were you in the boarding school 5 days or 7 days?" And she looked at them and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We want to know if you were there for 5 days or 7 days. And she's like, I still don't know. And the judge has to come in. And I have to tell you, the judge is tough, but the judge is very, to me, she's supportive of the survivors. And I will tell you why. Because when the defense is doing too much, she be like, "You're doing too much." At one time, she actually told the defense, like, "Come on, like seriously, like you are trying so hard. I know you want to defend your client, The jury wasn't there, by the way. It was after, sometime after the jury leave, they'll have a conference when the break and during lunch. He's like, I know you're trying to come, I know you're trying to defend your clients, but you guys are just consistently bringing up arguments that I ruled against because you're trying to make a point and you're not what did she say? You're not she didn't say getting through, but I could see that it's not having the impact that you think it should to the jury. You just she didn't say wasting time, but that's pretty much what she was saying. She said, I need you. She said that this trial is supposed to be over specific amount of time. We are already delayed. And the reason why we're delayed is because pretty much they're being repetitive. One time, one of the government agency, because they have 11 jurors and there's 3 brothers that is being charged with the same thing. So each of them will repeat something that was already sustained. And the judge be like, sustained. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they keep doing it. That's another thing that Mark used to do all the time. He kept on being repetitive and he kept on bringing up the same issue over and over again that had absolutely nothing to do with the case, that was either debunked, right? Or the judge says no. They will start slipping things in. One prime example is apparently there was a testimony that happened last Friday, in which I believe it was last Friday. It wasn't Friday, yeah, because they actually had a hearing on Friday, and I went there, but I had to leave. Apparently, there was an exhibit that they wanted to speak to the judge about, to say remove, right? So what they did is they submitted a letter 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning prior to the trial. They look, and there was a note that says it wasn't received, but Mark wanted a mistrial because they showed the exhibit after he submitted the letter, actually questioning the exhibit, and the letter wasn't there. That's the bullshit that Mark is about. He's trying to find any pigeonhole he can. Also, the Alexander brothers allegedly is mentioned in the Epstein files, right? And the judge had to submit an order to DOJ. Do not, if there's any reference to the Alexander, do not release it to the public, right? And he wanted to have the mistrial because of the possibility that the Alexander was an Epstein file. So he's doing everything he can. He's insane. So anyway, this poor young lady, she was 16 years old. She likes to go to parties with her friends. She was at she was at a boarding, and they were trying to differentiate between the 5 and 7 days. And the young lady, she's not young anymore. She's, it was 17 years ago when this happened to her. She's like, I don't understand what you said. I was in a boarding school. And the judge had to look at the lawyers like, what are you trying to ask her? The lawyer saw it. The judge saw it, but what are you trying to ask her? The judge looked at her. She said, they're just trying to ask, can you go home on the weekend? Did you live near your parents? And she's like, no. She said, but I don't go. There's no such thing as 7 days versus 5 days, because on the weekend, some of us would go to our friend's house and we would go out. So that's what she's asking me, and it makes sense. So I don't even know where they were going. Maybe they were trying to say, oh, why did you lie to your parents? I don't know where the hell they were going, but they did go into like, didn't you have a curfew? Weren't you supposed to ask permission? So I guess they were trying to get to the fact that if she lived with her parents, right, after she was raped, right, why didn't she leave Hampton and go back home to her parents? I don't know what the hell they were trying to do. It failed. It failed miserably. It was a ridiculous point. But she sounds very credible. I think that she did an amazing job. So status. Her name is, this is not her real name. She's under assume. Her name is Isa Brooke, and she was 16 years old when she was invited by Matt to a party, right? She lost her case. Mama Flip, do you know you're still streaming from Mel's channel? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes. Mel allowed me to continue to talk on his channel. So that's fine. AJ. AJ. Yes, he wants me to continue to talk on his channel, so I didn't leave after all. All right, thank you for reminding me. So her name is Aisha Brooks. She was 50. She was 60 years old. So she knew this guy named Matt, and they used to go to parties, and Matt used to invite her to different parties and stuff like that. And he invited her to the party at the Hamptons. So they kept on harassing her. How did he invite you? Did he invite you by text or Facebook or whatever? It was crazy. I don't even know where they were going with that. But either way, he invited her. She was supposed to go to her prom. She skipped her prom. They asked her, why did she skip her prom? She said she heard Hampton parties is amazing. She always wanted to be there. And she actually got accepted to Vanderbilt. And I think Vanderbilt is supposed to be an amazing college or whatever. And she wanted to have her, and she wouldn't be in New York, so she wanted to have her last great hoorah. She was going with her friend. She knew Matt, and it's supposed to be a great time, so she went. That's how it went. So she said that they went on a bus and went to the Hamptons, and then they went to the club. And when they went to the club, they had a good time. They were partying. That was Friday. They were trying to fight with her. First of all, they even questioned her birth certificate. They told the judge that they needed to authenticate the birth certificate, and the judge was like, "It's a United States birth certificate. It has a signature. It came from the department." Like, that's what they're doing, right? So anyway, so they went to. She went to a club. She said that's when she believed that she met the brother the first time, right? And then after that, she ended up being in the car with one of the brothers. They went to the house where everybody else was in the bus. So she said she went to the house, she spent the night, and apparently there was a main bedroom, right? And then there was another bedroom, but it had a staircase. And on the stair, if you go down the staircase, then they have cots. They had a bunch of cots downstairs, right? So anyway, she ended up being in one of the main bedrooms, and she ended up being in, I guess, sleeping with Matt, who she knew. They tried to make a big deal about that. They were like, "Oh, so you had something going on with Matt?" She's like, "No, I didn't have anything going on with Matt." But apparently they took a picture of her that they showed her, and they're not showing any of us. So we can't see the pictures or the videos. And I have to thank TMZ for that, because in the Didi trial, TMZ was actually giving out a lot of information that they wasn't supposed to. And that's when they started in SDNY. That's when they start not showing us, started shutting down the cameras and everything, and we can see some of the evidence. So they're doing that with this case, right? I know Inner City Press is fighting to get the evidence out, because the freedom of the press, we're supposed to have the information. So I know that. So anyway, so they had the party. The next day, they took a picture of her sleeping with Matt. She said the next day, Matt put on his clothes and he left, right? He said he had to go to work. And she was surprised. She also looked around. She said there was a lot of people from the club that came down on the bus that wasn't there. So she asked him out what's going on. He said that they weren't picked. They wasn't selected, right? So apparently there was a picking situation going on that she wasn't aware of, but she was picked. They had a pool party. She was in the sauna. One of the brothers came, gave her something to drink. She said she felt very sick. She got up out of the pool party. He followed behind her. She went into the room. Next thing she knows, she couldn't move her arm and leg. And next thing she knows, she's opened up her eyes, and there's two of the brothers and two men, one with long hair, four of them on her, right? She said that she finally was able to move her leg. She's 16 years old, guys, and kicked the guy with the long hair. When she kicked him off of her, he backed up, looked surprised that she was up. All right, there's a show about that. It's on Tubu. Y'all know that movie. It was done by what's her name? Oh God, the singer daughter. Oh my God, she is married to she's the daughter of Cosby, the Cosby Show. Why am I not forgetting these people's name? Oh my God. She had a documentary about very similar about people rugging and on an island and stuff like that. Yeah, I know the movie. I forgot the name of the movie. Does anybody remember that movie? No, not Rudy daughter. The other one, Denise, Lisa Bonet daughter. I think that's her name. Lisa Bonet daughter. But with Lenny Kravitz. name is Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz did a documentary very similar to this storyline. Okay, Zoe Kravitz documentary, like movie. She produced the movie. Bruce directed. Let me see if I get the name. What is the movie called? Blink Twice. Guys, please go check out the movie Blink Twice. Somebody put it in, please. Zoe Kravitz did a movie called Blink Twice. It says the film was featured intense theme as SA power dynamic and grooming was released by Amazon MGM Studio received a triggered warning for graphic violent content and extra abuse, highlight the danger of elite exploitation. Please go look at that movie because that movie is the Alexander Brothers. That's the storyline. Alexander Brothers doing the same thing. So it was for them. So she kicked the one with the long hair. And when she kicked him, he jumped up, she says. He was surprised and he left the room. After that, the second guy left the room and then the brother left. And then you know what Paul did? Olan, I call him Paul, but it's not Paul, it's tall. She said he looked at her and said, "Don't be mad at me." Thank you, Kenyana Brown. Thank you for writing it. She said, "Don't be mad at me." She said that's what she remembered that he said. And then he walked out. So they asked a bunch of questions. So they asked her what happened. She told what happened. She said that after that, she left the room and she went to look for her friend because she came with a friend named Ariel. She went to look for her friend Ariel, and Ariel was there with her. And they tried to figure out how to get out of that house. She said she was 16 years old. She didn't have no money. They said she didn't come with any money. She didn't know how to get out of there and stuff like that. And that's how she ended up testimony with the government. But of course, you have Teeny. Teeny is now the one that's questioning her. Was part of our old boy Diddy case. She came in and started asking a bunch of questions. She started, of course, comparing the testimony she gave for the government to the testimony today. The fact that she was trying to pinpoint how many people was there. She's like, I remember Ariel and a few people. Do you remember Valerie? She's like, I know. I remember seeing Valerie in the bus and possibly the club, but I don't remember seeing her in the house. And they showed the picture. Look, there's Valerie. Isn't that Valerie? She said, I don't know. I only see the back of her head. Here's another picture. That's Valerie. So you must be lying because you don't remember that Valerie was there. And she's like, okay, I see Valerie there, but I'm saying that when I came there was a bus load full of people and most of them left and there was just a few of us. And then she's like, oh, but you said it was a party. She's like, yes, it was a party. Was there a DJ there? She said, no, I don't remember a DJ, but they had food and it was a pool. But she said, but haven't you gone to parties before? Haven't you gone to clubs? And she's like, yeah. Don't they have food and DJs at parties and clubs? She's like, yeah. But they didn't have a DJ there, did it? It was just a laid back kind of event and like the thing. And she's like, it was a party. She said, but there was no music. She said, look, as a 16-year-old, that was a party to me. Whether it's a club is a party, at the pool house it was a party. It was a party, right? This is how she talking to the defense lawyer, to Tinny. She's like, yo, like they trying to nitpick on everything, right? The only place where I felt that they were getting some headway is that after they didn't talk about the incident. I don't know if they went back because when I was there, they skipped over the whole grape scene. They skipped over the whole thing. Because another thing I have to tell you, I forgot to mention that they saying that that what did I say? They said that I said earlier what their defense was. The defense was the trauma was started by social media, right? But I don't know if I talked about the second defense. The second defense was that the brothers were just having a good time. They did the same thing about Diddy. Oh, Diddy is a horrible human being, but he's just a player. It's his own private life. He's an exhibitionist. There was one time where they tried to sell us that he likes to film, so he was an amateur corn artist, film producer. They were throwing everything on the wall. So now they're saying with this fool right here, these fools, these brothers, they were womanizers, right? And everybody who went there had a good time. Apparently, one lawyer says that, oh, you knew when you went to one of the witnesses, it wasn't this witness, but one of the other victims, because I think they had 6 victims that told their story. One of them was a billionaire daughter who said, I don't need the money, but I'm here to tell the story, and I need to I'm here to take away their coins because they don't need to have it. They need to learn from this so they don't do it for anybody else. They did that to a billionaire daughter. But apparently they're trying to say they're womanizers, and one lawyer is like, oh, they knew they wasn't going there to watch Netflix and play backgammon. That's one of their lawyers' defense. So a 16 years old going to a party and being raped by 4 grown-ass men. Oh, she knew she wasn't going there to watch Netflix and play backgammon. So all of it is consensual, I'm hearing. So they're trying not to push the statutory grape situation. They said that everything was consensual. They all knew what they were coming there for. Don't get mad at them because they're rich and people want to go on a free vacation. That's not traveling. That's not coercion, right? So anyway, so they don't talk about the actual incident. In my case, I don't know if Mel could tell me if they actually try to dissect the actual incident themselves. They skipped the whole her being rugged, her being not being able to move. They didn't even touch about it. They go to the next day. So what happened the next day? So you went to speak to your friend. Where was Ariel? She was sleeping at the. You sure she was sleeping? You sure she was napping? You sure she was lounging? Yes, she was lounging. Where was it? Where did you talk to her? At a garden. Where was the garden? How far was the garden? How far was there a gate in the garden? You sure there was garden? Was there roses in the garden? Maybe there was tulips in the garden. You understand? They were being that picture. I'm being silly, but that's how they were going to try to prove that they were lying. So they were trying to prove. But I could say that she did get some headway when she didn't leave the house. So initially, she's like, I couldn't leave the house because I didn't have no money. But she said, eventually you did leave. She said, yeah, eventually we were able to get a car out of there, but you didn't leave immediately. No. So what did you do that day? We went to a club. So she said that you got dressed after you got essayed? Yes. You put makeup on? Yes. And you went to a club? Yes. And she's like, I just needed to get out of there because I couldn't get away. I needed to get out of there. So I thought that they had some headway with that because when she said that, I just shook my head like, yo, girl, you actually went to a club afterwards, right? She's 16 though. And then after that, they were like, well, was one of the brothers there? She said, yes. She said, but if you look at all the pictures, he wasn't there. She said that we must have gone to a couple of clubs because I know I saw him that night. I remember. So, of course, now they're questioning. They wanted to question her whether she actually did see the brothers or not. That became an issue, right? For her. That became an issue. So I was like, I had an issue with that part of it. Give me a second, guys. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm coming back. Sorry, guys. I'm coming back because, Instagram keeps shutting down after a certain amount of time, and I have to keep doing this. So, yeah. So they asked her. So when she was talking about how she went to a party after that, I was like, they're going to get you on that one, girl. They're going to get you on that one. But then she would say, like, look, I was 16 years old. I didn't know what to do. Did you tell your parents? No. I didn't tell my parents. I told my friend. She knows what happened to me. Another thing that got me about our what is her name again? Miss Brooks, was the fact that when she was at the house, she was able to see that somebody else was SA'd. at the house. This is when the girl from the UN tried to not try to stop them. And I felt you saw them do the same thing to another girl, and you just went inside, you just went into the other room, you know? But again, I go back to the fact that she was a kid. And they were grown men, but she wasn't the only one. So that's what I left once they were questioning her. They were trying to they were trying to place the blame on the 60-year-old kid instead of grown ass men, right? They were trying to imply that a 60-year-old girl gave consent to 4 men, right? They tried to imply that she didn't remember exactly what happened. They tried to push a bunch of holes, and she was like, "Look, at the end of the day, they rugged me. I don't remember all of the fine details, but I do remember 4 men forcibly, aggressively, and violently raped me." And when she said that, I was like, "Go ahead, girl. Keep saying it." They're trying to make you look like you're a liar and you're a fool. So that's what happened to her. And then after that, I left the kid. I left, and I was trying to go back today. I'm gonna be back next week. But there are other survivors. What they would do is they would have these, take them on these elaborate trips and not charge them like it was an all free expensive, most of the case. Sometimes they met somebody at a club, at a bar. There was one person that they met one of the brothers at a bar with the friend, and I guess he invited them to a jacuzzi. Like, after you meet somebody, they invite you and your friend. So the friend actually fell out, right? And he actually raped her in the jacuzzi, but by grabbing her and just pushing her on the bench and stuff like that. She talks about that. But in each case, and this is why they keep trying to push the fact that social media is trauma bonding. So they seeing everybody storing the social media and making it their own. I'm almost finished, Mel. So, but each of these women are saying the same thing, that each of them was rugged, and each of them could not move, and they couldn't fight back, and each of them lost consciousness, and each of them couldn't tell the details. That's what was consistent about the stories that I read, right? And I would end by saying that they have films, recordings that we haven't heard, that we're not allowed to hear. But there was one recording that a reporter was watching the juror, and you could tell that the juror were very uncomfortable with it, and some of them looked very upset when they was hearing it. And they have one chat message or text message in which one of the brothers told the other brother that I took down a 17-year-old. And we all know that we live in society that some people think 17-year-olds consensual, and there's certain laws that says that is a 5-year difference. But these motherfuckers was 29 years old, 29 and 30, 31. They shouldn't have been messing around with a 17-year-old, 31, a 7 and 16-year-old, right? So next week, they're having, on Monday, they took a week off. Monday, they're having like a conference with the judge. And then Tuesday, it starts all over again. So I hope to be able to go back. And again, the woman, the 60-year-old name on the pseudonym is Isa, IAS Brooks, Brooks. And that's it. Mel, you have any questions or anything?
Nope, I'm all good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to stay to tell you about the Alexander brothers. Please pay attention to the Alexander brothers. They are worse, believe it or not, than Diddy. And the reason why I said it, at least Diddy, and I hate to say this, but it's not even the least, but Diddy tried to perpetrate that these women were important to them, that they were his girls and stuff like that. They were his friends, where these mofo are just picking up these young people, these young girls, and they are just putting them in these situations, rugging them allegedly, I should say alleged, Mel, because it's a show, because they haven't been found guilty, but allegedly, because they're not, I don't think they're denying that it's happening. They're just saying it's consensual, right? And that's the thing. They're saying it's consensual. So, and I don't think that they're actually really trying to capture them. I don't think the defense is really trying to get them on the Sagittarius part of it. They're trying to get them on the traveling part of it. You understand? They actually moving women from across state line by coercion and lies. You know, so that's what they're trying to catch them on. So, yeah, that's where that's
So
yeah.
I'll just say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Sean Diddy Combs, the reason why the jury could not put the nails to him is because they felt like he was in a long relationship with each of the women, and they felt like it was none of their business.
I know.
With the Alexander brothers, these are just random girls that flying in and knocking them down. So
Horrible and rugged.
so,
It's horrific. The story, you guys have to pay attention to it, really, because you really have to. People need to pay more attention to the Alexander brothers, because it is like the Epstein file. Because somebody says it's like the Epstein files. It's current day Epstein files, right? He having people bring these girls. It was sorry, Mel. You just said something that reminded me of something. She called them the 6-year-old called them the clients, and the defense was trying to get her to stop saying that. They were trying to get her to say, well, Matt and the Alexander brothers had a shared house. Like, Matt didn't leave. He just went somewhere else. They had a shared house, and she was Matt's guest, and she got herself caught out there, right? But she's like, no, they were Matt clients. They were like, oh, how do you know they was their clients? Wasn't their friends? She said, because he would bring girls to them. Well, at the Hampton Town, it was a party. She's like, no, I know for a fact that he told me he would introduce them, bring girls to them at yachts, overseas, and to the Hampton Town. They was the client. His job was to bring girls to them, and this is what they were doing. I just wanted to tell you that. So pay attention to that case. It's important.
Yeah, kind of like well, I can't say Diddy's mule because that was more like drugs, but
drugs, yeah.
But similar concept, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do this. I can't believe it's like 12:30. You were supposed to be out of here in what, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then look at us. Thank you.
All right.
See you.
It's for a good cause,
Yes, please follow up, guys. Please see if you could have the media cover this case, because it's ridiculous how little media that I've seen there. There's some, but not as much as the Blakely Lively case. They're outside with Blakely, waiting for Blakely Lively, and not upstairs covering the Alexander case. Is crazy to me. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you, guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you next Thursday for me, possibly. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Okay, bye.